Hello my friends, welcome to this very quick class on music production. I know some of you are looking to maximize what you have without spending a whole lot. Well, I want to introduce you to one of my most reliable but inexpensive keyboards. It's a Korg, and I'm going to show you over here. This is the Korg Micro keyboard. You can see it's got 1, 2, 3 octaves. It's very tiny, but it's very efficient. Now, this keyboard does not come with sounds. It's connected to my computer by USB, but you'll be amazed at the level of production you could generate with this keyboard. Okay, so today I'm just going to create using my DAW, using Mixcraft. I use a lot of Mixcraft stuff because it's very easy and accessible, very inexpensive. Under $100 you can get this digital audio workstation, which is the black panel you're seeing on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to select the piano sounds. So that's the piano sound that comes with Mixcraft over here, and you can see I'm on track 1. To choose a different piano sound, I'm going to click on that, VST instruments, and you can see I have a smattering of instruments, VSTs, virtual instruments I could choose from. I have pianissimo that came with the Mixcraft DAW itself. But I also have the PIANOTEQ 7 stage, and these are a suite of really cool pianos, really nice sounding pianos. Let me see if I can click on edit and show you what is here. And I'm just going to choose some of the sounds. You can't see me selecting the sounds because it's a little bit convoluted. It's got many windows and some of the windows aren't visible here, but here's the New York Steinway. Hear that? Now let me show you how that looks, if I can adjust my picture slightly to enable you to see it. There we go. You see that? This is the virtual piano engine, so to speak, that I bought, and it has all sorts of good piano sounds that you can select from. So even though I don't have a big piano, I just have 3 octaves, but I have a rich sound. That. And you can adjust the octaves, so down, hear that? So you can still do a whole lot of good music production, even with a tiny little keyboard like that. Let me play some additional sounds. Max 2 tremolo. I've got a favorite one here, which is the MK2 Suite and Dyna. and so on. So I just wanted you to see that so you know which sound banks I'm using. So that is one of my favorite sound banks. And then on top of this, I've got some really nice bass sounds. So let's close that. And let's choose a bass sound. So going over to track 2, going to my virtual instruments, and I'm going to bring up the Trillian. And this is by the company known as Spectrasonics. They make some really, really awesome high-end VSTs. Let's click on Edit. This has samples from some of the best bassists like Abraham Laboriel, John Patitucci, Marcus Miller. Really rich, big, good sound from the Trillian. Now let me get the Trillian up if I can. See if I can get the Trillian up for you so you can see it. All right, that's the Trillian module, and you're going to hear the sounds in a minute. You'll see as the sounds are crafted. So let's see, let's go to so here you can see the extra bass legends, and those are some familiar names. See that? Got a fretless from Abraham there, although it's still beating. So that's finger funk, round Latin. Here's a fretless. All right. Let's go something from Marcus Miller. Still trying to load. Okay, let's see something from John. And of course, it's going to be the upright. You can use the pitch bend. So you get the idea. Some really good sounds from these VSTs. So I've shown you a couple now. We've got the Trillian, and then we've got the PIANOTEQ, one of my favorites. And now for drums, there are a number of options. You can either create your own program from scratch, or you could use drum loops. You know, I used to sell drum loops. I started off as an eBay seller selling loops, and not just drum loops, but all sorts of loops for suspense movies, I would have loops like that. I would have loops for even sax. You know, there was an album I did, I had a brass section, and I took some of those lines and licks and horns and made that available. But now I actually buy loops. I don't necessarily make mine a whole lot, but I get loops, high premium loops from, you know, top musicians and top vocalists. And that's what I use as part of my secret sauce. If you're looking for good loops to buy in your productions, I'll recommend PRIMELOOPS. They're out of the UK. They're very good. They got everyone on there, and a few surprises of names you might even know. So just go on down there and check it out, okay? But the last thing I want to bring up here is a module from Spectrasonics again. Okay, so Spectrasonics have got a module, and I'm going to bring that one up. Let's go to track 4, and let's bring up the virtual instruments again, and we're going to the Stylus RMX. Not the Renegade, Stylus RMX right here. Okay. Then we're gonna move this, because it would be really nice to have 2 screens when you're doing this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have 2 screens in my studio here. I have 1, but hopefully you are kind of getting the gist of what I'm doing and seeing the items pop up. So let me work on getting this stylus up. Stylus so you can see it. There we go. So that's a stylus module. Let's move it a little bit. And we move some things around so you can see it nicely. I'm hoping that this gives you some ideas of what you can do in your own studio and how you can leverage technology to your advantage. Oops. Okay. Let's move this up. So yeah, this video is not being edited in any way. It's just scrappy. And it's what you see is what you get. So thank you for your understanding. Okay. So now I'm going to choose something from this library and just click on it and begin to scan the libraries. You're going to hear some really sophisticated drum sounds. Here we go. Here's another one, and you can see the funny names. Here's another one. So I like this one, Reverend 1. I'm just going to take that and click, drag, and drop. But I'm going to first of all go to the end of my timeline, or the beginning I should say, and then just click, drag, drop. And it's saying the sound is in a different tempo than your project. For the best sound quality, would you like to change your tempo to match the sounds? Let's say yes. Yes. All right. Now we can close this, and we've got a good drum sound that we like. Copy it to 24, just drag it, close out of some of these other windows, and now you can see me actually work on these sounds. So we'll go up here. Okay, so let's use the John Patitucci acoustic bass. Here we go. Seems like it really sped up. I think I'm gonna opt for slower. I don't want it that quick. It's kind of late. There we go. All right, here we go. So I'm going to change the metronome setting so that it can count in at least one. And we'll get done here very shortly. So that's going to be my first instrument. Although I don't think I activated the right thing. Silly. Activated the microphone as opposed to the bass. So let's do that again. All right. Okay. So there we have our bass. And for now, I'm just going to put some piano on top of that. And mind you, everything's coming from this very simple, easy keyboard. It's just all from, all the controls, that is, the sounds are coming from the computer. So I want you to keep that in mind. Okay, let's play some piano. It's the wrong track. Let's do that again. All right, so we got the band cooking, and all we need to do to spread this out is just copy paste. It's that simple, copy paste just like this. Control C for copy after you've selected everything, and just click where you want it to go and paste. And you can paste just like that. It's so simple, just like that. All right. And then, as far as putting a good solo on this, there are many possibilities when it comes to adding solos these days, there's so many high-end loops that you can get, or you could find musicians online. There's all sorts of places you can get very talented musicians. There's Upwork, there's Fiverr, and there's many more. And all you need to do is search to find good musicians. But beyond that, like I said, PRIMELOOPS has got an assortment of loops, and there are many others like that. Now I engage with professional musicians to do a lot of stuff on my albums, but I also use libraries when I need to. Like when I need to do something, urgently, I could use libraries. So right now, I'm going into my libraries, and I'm going to find something that I can use. So I'm going to all, and I'm going to look in my abundance of sounds for something in the woodwind family. So let's see if we can find a good sax loop here that says alto riff. These are in D major. It's got the keys as well. Got all sorts of them. That's in C major. So I need something in C minor. And I can always change the keys. But let's look for something in C minor. Not bad. So if I wanted to use any of these, I just click and drag it in here, like that. That's simple. And here we go. So that's the general idea, You got to find something you like, and you're in business. Let's hear this. Okay, let's check this out. Nope. So, for example, if I was in time crunch, I could split that, move this out of the way, copy that, while it is not completely what I want, it gives you an idea of the possibilities. You just keep going solo hunting for very good sax solo, and you might come up with something really cool. So, for the sake of this illustration, we will use that, but I'm also going to bring in some of my secret sauce, and I've got a whole bunch of loops from friends, various sources, and I'm going to use one outside of what I'm showing you here. So I'm going to drag it in. It's going to be something on C minor. It's going to be tenor, And let me just drag it in right here to the platform. And let's listen. So it's that simple. You just grab the track, put it in. All right, so let's use this, and I'm going to go ahead and put some FX on this, beef it up, maybe a large hall, and maybe a bit of delay, and maybe pan the delay. And let's see what it sounds like. So you see, without much ado, it's already beginning to sound like a real track. Now, it's already sounding okay. Let me go in and put in a little bit more secret sauce and see what we can come up with. Here we go. And this is how you paint the picture, all right? So shout out to KIRK WHALUM for these awesome sax sounds. And you can find a lot of KIRK's work online. Just do the relevant searches, you'll find his brilliance. And there's so many possibilities, my friends, of other like really awesome jazz musicians who have loop libraries out there. Okay, lots of vocalists. There's a whole world of work out there. You just need to explore. So it's a very good start for the track, and I could put other things on top of it, like I could put a solo. So at this point, I could come over to my PIANOTEQ, and I could get rid of this to actually play a few bars of my solo. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And hopefully you can still see everything. And don't worry, my keyboard is protected with a nice layer of material for this baby to be on top of the bigger one. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me get a solo in here, and we'll call it a night, because I think you get the idea of what I'm saying. You don't need all the stuff I'm using. All you need is your DAW. This keyboard cost me at the time about $70, and there's so many free libraries you can get online for sounds. And then if you wanted to amp it up and go to like a PRIMELOOPS.com and spend $20, $30 on loops, you're in business. It's that the music business is so accessible these days. It's so accessible. There's almost like no excuse. All right, let me go ahead and play solo on this one. And that's the solo. And I could just copy this and put it right here. And let's delete these. Oh, actually, let's fade them out. So it's that easy to fade out, as you can see. Fade those out. Make the track bigger. Fade out. All right. So it's not sounding bad. There's one more thing we could do. Let's see. So you might ask, what am I about to do? I'm about to master it to some degree. And there are different mastering approaches I use. Now, you can hear the change in quality right there. You hear that? My mic sounds absolutely different. Some EQ to get the drum sounds a bit richer. So many things I'm doing here, but this is another feature that I want to elevate, and it's really the ability to EQ stuff. Let me see if I can bring that up. EQ. EQ is so important. has to be done in good taste, though. Let me see. EQ. Unfortunately, I cannot show the EQ right now. It's like I'm maxed out of Windows. Let's see if there's a different way. Okay. I might be able to show this for a quick second, so let me try to do that. All right, it's going to look chaotic for a bit, then it'll look normal. So hopefully it looks a bit normal now. And then this is an EQ. I'll put in one more little solo and we'll call it a night. And there's a favorite I've got that comes with the software. Let's insert an instrument. And this one is the duck lead. That's it. The dirty duck. I'll pan it a little bit. So there are two dirty ducks. I'm looking for the second one. Okay, let's go with that. Just got to punch in. Let's try that again. so we got a solo from the Dirty Duck. So I'm going to take that sax and put it towards the end so that we have a nice closeout. All right, so let's play it through once and you hear the whole thing. All right, my friends, there you have it. It's that easy to make good music. It's not as expensive as it used to be. Back in those days, to get a good saxophonist would cost you an arm and a leg. But now you can get great sounds for very cheap and all above board, right? So just experiment with some of the names. I'll try and put some links below when we get done. And if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask. But never stop experimenting, okay? See you in the next video.
Bye for now.